Yeah. What I like about Ginza is there's a lot of like a little path. Um, how do you describe that? Like a path that allows you to go to one street to another. It's a shortcuts.
Yeah, shortcuts.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of small shortcuts in unexpected areas between buildings and the inside of buildings. When I was a kid, I really loved to explore those shortcuts
Let's go
because,
dive in. Yeah.
right, and this was one of them. It existed since I was a little, and it looks exactly same.
Really?
So that's a scary thing. So it's almost like a time capsule. And they had the same this chandelier
Wow.
and these like same yellow signs. By the way, that these are bars.
Whole building of bars.
Right. And they're like all tiles and everything looks same.
I think what's interesting is that this, in my brain, seems like it should be a private space of some kind. Like if you're entering into a building, that only people who are using that building should use it. But I think what you're alluding to is the fact that like this is very much a public corridor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I like about this is looks private, but it's actually public.
Yeah.
And that ambiguity is very interesting.
Yeah. So we just walked straight through the building, and then we're back on, another little portion of these Ginza side streets.
And you can see the name of the street here. It's a Konparu Dori.
Konparu.
Konparu is the name of the famous no actor in 18th century.
Okay.
And Konparu was so famous, and so because of back in the Edo period, famous no actors and kabuki actors have lots of powers. So local authorities cannot intervene them so much. And Konparu had a huge house here. And in the Asian times, not Asian times, in the Edo period, the house is long and a lot of shops are inside of the like same actually quarter.
Okay.
And a lot of musicians move in and a lot of dancers move in. So entire area was a pleasure quarter.
Who's a modern day Konparu?
Konparu, I don't know.
Jigawa-san?
Yeah.
George Clooney. Yeah, George Clooney maybe with his
George
home.
Clooney has a huge house and like
Maybe not shops,
he
but
has a huge house.
Lake
but
Como.
He
Yeah.
doesn't create the entire town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe something Michael Jackson would have done.
Or Prince.
Or Prince.
Yeah.
So that's why it's actually still a lot of buzz in this corner.
There's an entertainment district there,
Right.
and
It's still
maintains it.
entertainment. Right.
And the other thing, just know, is one of the oldest forms of theater in Japan, and it has drums. It has 4 different instruments that help represent the gods, and there's no speaking. There's some speaking in it, actually. Sorry, but it's all male and huge costumes,
And they wear masks.
and they're wearing masks.
And the plot is more or less same. Usually a protagonist encounters a ghost. And the ghost has lots of resentment or regrets. And through conversations, ghost finally lets go resentment and also the regrets and disappears. So that's usually the plot of No Place. It's really beautiful. So let's actually go through one of the very hidden area where the bars are. And so you believe or not, this has a little
street.
this is a public street, and looks like I don't know how to describe it.
days.
End of days.
So we'll
So
just
let's
be
go.
really quiet. And
Yeah.
go in. And here you can see Konparu Koji.
And I'm sure that this public street existed in 18th century. And even though buildings are like now new, but this public actually street survived. And there are more streets like that existing in Ginza, but probably this was one of the last one. And these are signs for the bars. And watch for the here. And it's very dark, but around midnight, and these signs going to light up, and each one has a little bars, down there. And there's a sushi place, end of this dark street, and it's just between buildings.
It's so crazy.
But this is a public street.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that because of the COVID, I'm sure those bars are now closed. I hope that they're going to come back
Right.
in May, I hope.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so probably for people from other places to walk into a poorly lit alley doesn't feel like a wise decision. But I do think that's one of the really exciting things about Japan is that you're rewarded for going into somewhat concealed places.
And also that it's old, but it's clean.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's a public street.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, public streets are usually cleaner
Yeah.
than in other cities.
True.
I love the sign, new sign. It says "Tatshon Yamete," like no peeing here. And it's a Cinderella.
Cleaning up.
Cinderella is cleaning. So for poor Cinderella,
Yeah.
don't be here.
That's really fun.
Yeah.